From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Some letters to Santa are just a little better than others. No toys on this one, just a chance to be with an old friend. We'll explain.
Lights, camera, action. I'm Annie Johnson with more on how lights and technology is putting this community in the holiday spirit.
There it is, right
Nice.
there.
He does
That's cool.
such great work.
Nice, I
Nicely
love
done,
it.
Jesse, that's awesome.
That's good stuff.
See, wouldn't that look better with a little snow around it?
It would help. Yeah.
There you go.
I know. Well, anyway, it's 6:29 here.
Yes,
You're
it
watching
is.
Montana This Morning. It is Thursday, December 10th, and December 10th to me always means like Christmas is like right here.
You can see behind me, I'm frantically pushing the button to get back to the right.
Which page am I on?
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
where are we today?
December
Hey,
10th.
it's Friday.
That's like what, 14, 15 days left until Christmas.
Yeah.
You can do the math on that.
It's
I mean,
Friday
depending
Eve
on
too.
how you- it's Friday Eve.
I'm going with it.
I'm
There we
like,
go.
Temperatures this morning a little chilly. You may want to grab that coat on this Friday Eve. Temperatures into the teens, a couple of 20s out there, mainly dealing with partly cloudy skies for the early part of the morning. It is beautiful out. Temperatures should be into the mid-30s. This is pretty close to where we should be for temperatures this time of year. You can see traffic's moving along fine in Butte. We're not seeing a ton of snow in the forecast, but there are some chances heading this direction. We're going to break it all down from you from the Billion Auto Group Weather Patio in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Matt. It is now 6:30. It's been a year full of ups and downs for many of us.
MTN's Annie Johnson joins us now with what one Bozeman holiday elf is doing in the hopes to make this time feel a little merrier.
Does it feel like the holidays to you? Well, Christmas is only a little over 2 weeks away, and this Bozeman resident is doing all he can to put others in the Christmas mood.
8-9 years ago, I thought it'd be kind of cool to start a Christmas light show, and I thought, well, with the technology that was coming out, I thought it'd be kind of cool to do it if you could sync it to music.
And that's exactly what this Bozeman resident did.
They come up, they park along the side of the street and sit and tune their radios to 90.1. There's a sign in the front there that tells you it's all synced to music, so you tune to 90.1 on your FM radio and watch the lights on the house sync to the music.
Now, it may seem like something you'd expect during the holidays, but in a not so typical year, Tim says he's happy to spread holiday cheer.
A lot of kids like it. A lot of adults really like it as I interact with them, people I know around the community and stuff. And so, if it's something that can put a smile on a kid's face or somebody's face, then it's well worth it.
And it also brings back memories from when he was a kid.
I can just remember being a little kid myself. I thought it was pretty cool, when we'd go around look at Christmas lights. And I thought, how cool would it be if it was different all the time?
This light show is located at 313 Powder River Avenue and will go on until January 1st. Reporting in Bozeman, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
Oh, and it is worth a visit to that for sure. 6:32 now, time for some Treasure State headlines. A manhunt for a homicide suspect accused of shooting a man in the head in an apartment complex parking lot in Missoula Tuesday continues. Christopher Newrider is a 6-foot-tall white male who weighs about 200 pounds, has brown hair, green eyes, who was last seen wearing a black beanie-style cap, black hoodie, and black shoes. Officials have also identified the victim in the shooting as a 33-year-old Sundance Ron Leon Hernandez of Missoula. People are encouraged to lock doors and vehicles. Do not approach Newrider.
Well, 17 states on Wednesday asked the U.S. Supreme Court to accept a new lawsuit that is attempting to invalidate Democrat Joe Biden's electoral victory in 4 key states. And Montana is one of the states doing the asking. Montana Attorney General Tim Fox says the odds of the high court accepting the late lawsuit filed by Texas are slim at best, but the Republican Attorney General said the case raises important constitutional questions about the integrity of mail-in ballots in Georgia, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. The suit filed this week by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says the 62 electoral votes from those states should be invalidated, thus giving the presidency to Donald Trump. Many legal experts across the country have said the Texas lawsuit is without merit and that Texas doesn't have standing to challenge votes in other states.
On local political scene now, Republicans on a Montana House Rules panel voted Tuesday to allow their committees chairs at the upcoming 2021 legislature to have the power to kill bills without a vote or a hearing. Now, the House Rules Committee voted along party lines with Republicans in favor to make the change in the 2021 legislative rules. Under current rules, every bill introduced at the Montana legislature must have a hearing and a vote in committee. Republican State Representative Matt Regier of Kalispell said he says the change is needed to make the process more efficient so lawmakers can focus on bills that really matter. Democrats on the panel oppose the change. Representative Robert Ferris Olson of Helena says it means lawmakers are abdicating their responsibility to act on every bill before committees. Full committee could still override the chair on whether to hear the bill, but it would be unusual for a majority of Republicans to overrule a chair from their party. Now, the rule change won't become official until the full House votes on it in January, but if Republicans are in favor, it will easily pass since they do have a 67-33 majority.
Well, the Ranch for Kids in Lincoln County, where state officials removed more than 24 children in July of 2019, has had its license permanently suspended. The Rexford Youth Ranch had children ranging in age from 11 to 17. Abuse and neglect included disciplinary walks for extreme distances, often at night and in the wilderness without weather-appropriate clothing or footwear. Physical and verbal abuse and failure to report sexual abuse, the use of restricting food for participants and withholding medical attention, even for those expressing suicidal thoughts.
6:35 now. Earlier in the summer, 72% of Americans said they would take a COVID-19 vaccine. But in the months that have followed, the number has declined despite the fact that we're close to actually having one approved.
It now stands at 60%. Dan Grossman takes a look at how behavioral science will play a role in getting this pandemic under control and to convince Americans to get the vaccine.
In the race towards a vaccine, there have been a lot of hurdles. First, it was learning about this new virus and how it affects the body. Then, it was developing a vaccine that was safe and effective. But now that two are on the horizon, the biggest hurdle facing companies like Pfizer and Moderna is getting people to actually get the shot.
Maybe 10 to 15% of people are just never going to go and get a vaccine because they feel strongly against it.
Katie Milkman is a professor at the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. That 10 to 15% of anti-vaxxers she just mentioned is part of the 42% of Americans who recently came out in a Gallup poll and said they would not get an FDA-approved COVID-19 vaccine. If we want to cool down what's been going on with this virus, that number will have to change, as herd immunity requires a high percentage of people to be immune, either through vaccination or antibodies. Measles, for example, requires at least 94% of the population be immune.
I think actually a lot of social media companies have done great things around making it possible to share when you go vote, for instance, and making it really visible. We get I voted stickers. I think we should be doing similar things around vaccination.
Katie says the goal then is to market the vaccine properly. Former presidents Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush have all said they will very publicly get the vaccine. Katie also says celebrities will play a major role in instilling similar public confidence.
The more people you see who you respect or you think highly of, and just in general, the more people you're friends with you see doing this, the more comfortable you're going to feel.
Transparency is another big thing. Katie says some people might sit on the sidelines if they don't feel comfortable with what they're putting in their bodies. So outlining how the vaccine will work, why it's important, and how it will help the common man, woman, or child is crucial.
I would highlight the similarity with other things we're comfortable with, right? All of our kids are getting vaccinations. Not all of them, but most of our kids, right? 90% of kids are getting vaccinations at various stages in their development. We've gotten very comfortable with the flu vaccine.
Katie says questions and curiosity about these vaccines are a good thing. Same with transparent information if we hope to get closer to this finish line. I'm Dan Grossman reporting.
Well, it's not even December 25th yet, but Santa Claus is already making Christmas wishes come true. 7-year-old Annalise Hawking of New Hampshire wrote to the big man in the red suit, asking him for just one thing this Christmas: to find her friend Nyla.
Oh, this is great. The two girls became best friends in school last year, but when Nyla's family moved, the country went into quarantine, they lost contact. CBS's Nikki Batiste is in New York City's Huston Yards neighborhood with this charming story.
Dear Santa, for Christmas I would like it to be a surprise. Please tell Nyla that I miss her.
This priceless Christmas wish from 7-year-old Annalise Hawking stood out when it arrived at the North Pole last week.
Please tell her my address
She simply wanted help finding her 8-year-old friend, Nyla Loftus.
A lot of kids ask for toys. Why did you want to ask to see your friend this year?
I asked to see Nyla because I really missed her.
The two girls became best friends last year after Nyla helped Annalise, whose family was new in town, feel welcome. But when Nyla's family moved away in February, the second graders lost touch. So Annalise turned to the one person who makes miracles happen. Santa Claus, with a little help from Annalise's mom, Leslie, posted a photo of the letter to Facebook, asking if the community could help find Nyla. Over 100 people responded.
I was definitely crying a little bit. Santa posted it on Facebook and all these people had helped him. We found her. Like, I can't believe this happened.
It actually chokes me up right now. I was just amazed that a little girl would ask that.
Moms Leslie and Sarah knew they had to get their daughters together, so they planned a surprise meetup.
Nyla poked her head up. Nyla.
You were surprised?
Mm-hmm. We hugged and I couldn't talk. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say.
If you could say something to Santa right now, I think he's listening. What would you like to say?
Thank you for making my wish come true.
Leslie and Sarah are grateful for all of Santa's helpers who made their daughter's reunion possible.
People in this time of year feel an extra sense of giving, and I think this brought out the best in people in a lot of ways.
Sarah, how has this all impacted Nyla and your family? Because she is also in a new school now.
It's been great seeing her smile because it's been so hard. This has definitely made her so more cheerful. She still has her best friend.
In a difficult year, two best friends reminding us of the simple joys this holiday.
Annalise and Nyla now FaceTime regularly, and their families hope to get together again after the pandemic slows down. Both girls have been remote learning, so seeing each other was extra special. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
I'm completely destroyed now.
I know, isn't that all this gummy? I've watched it like 3 times and it's still
That's
just
a
shows
real
me.
life Hallmark movie. That is the absolute best. That is the story.
Sometimes we get lost in all the material things that are about Christmas and about all of that. And really when it comes down to it, that's really what we're talking about. So
everybody remembers their childhood best friends.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it. So nice job, Santa.
Yes,
Way
well
to make
done.
that happen. Good
Well
stuff.
done.
Good stuff.
Well, when Montana This Morning returns, what were the most searched words or phrases on Google this year? We'll let you know when we come back.
But first, let's check in with the crew at CBS This Morning for a look at what's ahead.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, the FDA Commission will discuss today's critical advisory meeting that could recommend emergency use of the first coronavirus vaccine in this country. Plus, they'll also respond to concerns about the potential side effects of the Pfizer vaccine. And first on CBS This Morning, a congressional investigation finds millions of U.S. children have been put in danger. See disturbing new crash test video. Take a look at that. Lawmakers say it shows how some of those popular booster seats fail to protect your kids. And social media has become a hotbed of vaccine misinformation. It may be convincing people that COVID vaccines are not safe. Meet a scientist who's now using TikTok to fight back with the facts. TikTok does everything. We'll see you at 7 o'clock on the dot.